Imagine standing at the foot of a mountain, the summit hidden by clouds, the path ahead uncertain and steep. In that moment, what separates those who reach the top from those who turn back is not talent, luck, or circumstance. It is the relentless power of persistence. Napoleon Hill, whose wisdom has guided countless seekers of success, declared that persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel. It is a quality that transforms dreams into reality, that turns defeat into victory, and that ensures you keep going until you win. Many begin their journey with enthusiasm, but only a few finish the race. The world is filled with stories of those who gave up just before the dawn, who allowed temporary defeat to become permanent failure. Yet history reserves its highest honors for those who refused to quit, who pressed on when the path grew dark and the night seemed endless. Consider the story of Colonel Sanders, who, at the age of 60-5, set out to share his secret recipe with the world. He faced rejection after rejection. Over 1,000 times his idea was turned down. But Sanders persisted, believing in the value of his vision. His unwavering determination eventually led to the creation of a global brand, enjoyed by millions. His journey is a testament to the power of never giving up. Hill reminds us that persistence is not a trait one is born with, but a habit that can be developed. It begins with a clear purpose, fueled by desire and sustained by faith. When obstacles arise, and they surely will, remind yourself why you began. Let your vision burn so brightly that no setback can extinguish it. Each challenge is an invitation to grow stronger, to prove your commitment to your goal. Surround yourself with those who encourage your persistence. The mastermind principle is vital here. When you share your journey with others who believe in your mission, their support will help you endure the storms. In moments of doubt, their faith will rekindle your own. Persistence is also a matter of discipline. Break your goal into daily actions and commit to them regardless of how you feel. There will be days when motivation wanes, when progress seems invisible. In these moments, act anyway. Trust that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your destination. Remember, every great achievement was once considered impossible. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is often a single quality: the refusal to give up. The world yields its rewards to those who persist, who rise after every fall, and who keep moving forward when others turn back. So I ask you, will you persist when the way is hard? Will you press on when others doubt? The art of persistence is the art of victory. Let your determination be as constant as the river, and in time, you will carve your own path to lasting success. Keep going until you win, for the summit belongs to those who never stop climbing. Picture a champion knocked to the ground. The crowd silent, the odds stacked against him. In that moment, defeat can feel final. Yet, as Napoleon Hill taught, defeat is never the end unless you accept it as such. The greatest winners are not those who never fall, but those who rise again, using every setback as fuel for their next victory. Hill believed that every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. This is not mere optimism, it is a law of nature. When you encounter defeat, you are presented with a choice to surrender or to search for the lesson, the opportunity, the hidden advantage within the loss. Consider the story of Walt Disney, who was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination, and whose first animation studio went bankrupt. Rather than give up, Disney used these defeats to sharpen his vision and strengthen his resolve. Each failure taught him something new, and each disappointment became a stepping stone toward the creation of a global legacy. Hill reminds us that setbacks are invitations to grow. When you stumble, pause and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to improve? The answers you find will become the foundation of your future success. Defeat, when embraced with courage and curiosity, becomes a powerful motivator or spark that ignites your determination to try again. Transforming defeat into fuel requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a verdict, see it as feedback. Instead of feeling shame, feel gratitude for the chance to learn. Surround yourself with those who encourage you to keep going, who remind you that every champion has scars. The journey to winning is not a straight line. It is a winding road marked by setbacks and detours. But each time you rise after a fall, you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The world remembers those who refuse to let defeat define them, who turn their pain into power and their losses into lessons. So I ask you, how will you respond to your next setback? Will you let it stop you, or will you use it as a stepping stone? The choice is yours. Embrace your defeats, learn from them, and let them propel you forward on your path to victory. Keep going until you win, for every setback is simply a setup for your greatest success. Envision a lone traveler crossing a vast desert, the horizon shimmering with uncertainty, the only sound the whisper of the wind. Around him, voices echo with doubt, some from the world, some from within. Yet he presses forward, guided not by the approval of others, but by an unshakable faith in his purpose. Napoleon Hill, the master of success philosophy, taught that faith is the head chemist of the mind, the force that transforms desire into reality when the world cannot see what you see. There will be moments on your journey when the world questions your vision, when friends and family urge caution, when critics predict failure. In these moments, faith becomes your greatest ally. Hill wrote, "Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. It is the invisible bridge between your dreams and their fulfillment, the inner conviction that sustains you when external support fades away." Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who, after thousands of failed experiments, was told by many that his quest for the electric light was foolish. Yet, Edison's faith in his idea burned brighter than any lamp. He believed in the unseen, trusted in his ability to learn from each setback, and ultimately illuminated the world. His triumph was not just a victory of intellect, but of unwavering belief. Hill reminds us that faith is not blind hope, but a conscious choice to believe in yourself and your vision, even when evidence is scarce. It is cultivated through repeated affirmation, through surrounding yourself with those who uplift rather than undermine, and by acting as if your success is inevitable. When you move with faith, you radiate a confidence that inspires others to believe as well. The world may doubt, but your faith must remain steadfast. Let it be the anchor in the storm, the light in the darkness, the fuel that powers your persistence. When you believe deeply in your purpose, you find the courage to take risks, to endure criticism, and to rise after every fall. Faith transforms obstacles into stepping stones and silence into opportunity. So I ask you, when the world doubts, will you hold fast to your vision? Will you trust in your ability to achieve what others deem impossible? Let your faith be the foundation upon which you build your dreams. Keep going until you win, for those who believe when others doubt are the ones who change the world. Envision a lone traveler pressing forward through a storm, the wind howling, the path ahead obscured by darkness. Around him, voices of doubt echo, some from strangers, others from friends, and even a few from within. Yet he continues step by step, guided by a light that only he can see. This light is faith, the unwavering belief in oneself and in the worthiness of one's vision. Napoleon Hill taught that faith is the starting point of all achievement, the force that transforms desire into reality, especially when the world turns skeptical. When you set out to accomplish something great, you will inevitably encounter doubters. Some will question your abilities, others will dismiss your dreams as impossible. Even those closest to you may fail to see what you see. In these moments, faith becomes your most valuable ally. It is the inner conviction that your purpose is real, your goal is attainable, and your journey is meaningful, regardless of external approval. Hill reminds us that faith is not blind optimism, but a conscious choice to trust in your vision. It is built through repeated affirmation, persistent action, and the refusal to let fear dictate your steps. When you affirm your belief daily through words, thoughts, and deeds, you strengthen your resolve. Each act of courage, no matter how small, becomes a brick in the foundation of your faith. History is filled with those who triumphed because they believed when others doubted. Thomas Edison, told by teachers he was too slow to learn, held fast to his vision and gave the world the electric light. Oprah Winfrey, facing rejection and adversity, trusted in her purpose and built an empire that inspired millions. Their stories echo Hill's principal faith as the bridge between the invisible and the possible. When the world doubts, let your faith be louder than their skepticism. Surround yourself with those who uplift your spirit, but do not depend on their approval. The mastermind principle applies. Here as well, seek out allies who share your belief. But remember that your deepest strength comes from within. Every time you act in faith, you silence the voices of doubt. Every time you persist despite uncertainty, you prove to yourself that your vision is worth fighting for. The world may not understand your journey, but it is not theirs to understand. It is yours to live. So I ask you, when the world doubts, will you stand firm in your belief? Will you trust your vision enough to keep moving forward? Let faith be your compass, your shield, and your source of courage. Keep going until you win. For those who believe in themselves are the ones who change the world. Visualize a river carving its way through solid rock, not by force, but by the steady persistence of every drop. So it is with the pursuit of your dreams. Napoleon Hill taught that success is not the result of a single grand gesture, but the outcome of countless small actions, repeated with purpose and faith. Building momentum through daily action is the secret to transforming ambition into achievement. Every day presents a new opportunity to move closer to your goal. It is not the size of the step that matters, but the consistency with which you take it. Hill reminds us that habits are the building blocks of destiny. When you commit to positive routines, no matter how modest they accumulate, compounding into powerful results over time. Consider the story of a writer who pens just one page each day. At first, the progress seems slow, almost invisible. But after a year, those daily pages become a book. The same principle applies to any endeavor musician practicing scales, an entrepreneur making daily calls, an athlete training before dawn. Each small win builds confidence. Each completed task fuels the next, and soon, what once felt impossible becomes inevitable. Momentum is born from action, not from waiting for inspiration. When you act, even in the smallest way, you generate energy. That energy propels you forward, making the next step easier. Hill believed that action is the antidote to fear and doubt. When you focus on what you can do today, you silence the inner critic and build a record of success that no one can take from you. Track your progress. Celebrate your victories, no matter how minor. Each check mark on your list is proof that you are moving forward. Over time, these small wins create a sense of unstoppable progress. The world may not notice your efforts at first, but you will feel the shift within. Your confidence will grow, your skills will sharpen, and your vision will come into clearer focus. So I ask you, what action will you take today to move closer to your dream? Will you let another day slip by? Or will you go momentum, one step at a time? Remember, greatness is not achieved in a single leap, but in the steady march of daily effort. Keep going until you win, for the river that never stops flowing will, in time, shape the world. Picture a single candle burning in the darkness. Its light is small, but when joined by others, the room is transformed bright, warm, and full of possibility. So, it is with the power of the mastermind. Napoleon Hill taught that no one achieves greatness alone. The most successful men and women in history have surrounded themselves with like-minded, supportive individuals who multiply their strength and help them endure when times are tough. When you walk the path to victory, there will be days when your energy wanes, when doubt creeps in, and when obstacles seem insurmountable. In these moments, the encouragement and wisdom of a mastermind group become your greatest assets. Hill defined the mastermind as the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people, working toward a definite purpose in the spirit of harmony. This alliance creates a third, invisible force, a collective mind greater than the sum of its parts. Consider the story of Henry Ford, who credited much of his success to the counsel of his mastermind group, which included Thomas Edison and Harvey Firestone. Together they shared ideas, solved problems, and inspired one another to reach new heights. Their combined energy and insight propelled them far beyond what any could have achieved alone. The mastermind principle is not reserved for the famous. Anyone can form such an alliance. Seek out those who share your vision, who believe in your dreams, and who will hold you accountable when your resolve falters. Meet regularly, exchange ideas, and support each other's progress. In doing so, you create a circle of strength that can withstand any storm. Hill reminds us that the mastermind is not just about receiving support, but also about giving it. When you encourage others, you reinforce your own commitment. The spirit of cooperation and mutual upliftment is the foundation upon which lasting success is built. So I ask you, who is in your mastermind, who stands beside you when the journey grows difficult? If you have not yet found your circle, begin today. Reach out, connect, and build alliances rooted in trust and shared purpose. Remember, the path to victory is easier and far more rewarding when you walk it together. Keep going until you win, for together you are unstoppable. Imagine a ship setting sail on a vast ocean, its compass fixed on a distant shore. No matter how fierce the winds or how high the waves, the vessel presses forward, guided by a single, unwavering purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that the power of a definite purpose is the engine of all achievement. Without it, even the most talented wander aimlessly, but with it, ordinary people accomplish extraordinary feats. A clear, burning goal is more than a wish. It is a command to your mind and spirit. Hill believed that definite purpose is a starting point of all success. When you know exactly what you want, every thought, every action, and every decision aligns with your vision. Distractions lose their power, and obstacles become mere stepping stones on the path to victory. Consider the story of Andrew Carnegie, who rose from humble beginnings to become one of the world's greatest industrialists. Carnegie's unwavering focus on his goal to build an empire of steel gave him the energy to persist through setbacks and the clarity to seize every opportunity. His purpose was so strong that it inspired those around him, creating a ripple effect of ambition and achievement. Hill reminds us that a definite purpose must be written down, visualized daily, and pursued with relentless determination. It is not enough to hope for success. You must claim it as your destiny. When you declare your purpose with conviction, you awaken forces within yourself and in the world that conspire to help you succeed. Every day, revisit your goal. See it in your mind's eye. Speak it aloud. Let it shape your choices and fuel your persistence. When challenges arise someday, your purpose will give you the strength to endure, the courage to act, and the faith to keep going until you win. So I ask you, what is your definite purpose? Have you written it down, made it clear, and committed to it with all your heart? The world belongs to those who know where they are going and refuse to be turned aside. Set your course, hold fast to your vision, and let the power of a definite purpose carry you to triumph. Keep going until you win, for the journey is reserved for those who never lose sight of their goal. Picture a traveler lost in a dense forest, the path ahead hidden by tangled branches and shadows. Many would turn back, convinced there is no way through. But the one who pauses, closes his eyes, and dares to imagine a new route finds possibilities where others see only barriers. Napoleon Hill taught that imagination is the workshop of the mind, the place where solutions are born and obstacles are transformed into stepping stones. When you feel stuck or discouraged, it is not a sign to surrender, but an invitation to think differently. Hill believed that every problem contains the seed of its own solution, waiting to be discovered by a mind willing to explore beyond the obvious. Imagination is not mere fantasy, it is the power to visualize new outcomes, to combine old ideas in fresh ways, and to see opportunity where others see only defeat. Consider the story of the Wright brothers, who dreamed of flight when the world insisted it was impossible. They did not accept the limits of their time. Instead, they visualized themselves soaring above the earth, studied the flight of birds, and experimented with countless designs. Their creative thinking and relentless visualization turned the dream of flight into reality, changing the course of history. Hill reminds us that you can train your imagination. Set aside time each day to visualize your goal as already achieved. Picture the steps you will take, the challenges you will overcome, and the feeling of victory. When you encounter a roadblock, ask yourself, what if there was another way? What resources have I overlooked? Who can help me see the problem from a new angle? Creative thinking thrives in an environment of curiosity and openness. Surround yourself with people who encourage your ideas, and do not fear failure. Each attempt, whether successful or not, expands your understanding and brings you closer to a breakthrough. The greatest innovations are often born from moments of frustration, when the mind is forced to stretch beyond its comfort zone. So I ask you, when you feel stuck, will you let discouragement stop you, or will you unleash the power of your imagination? Will you dare to see beyond the present challenge and envision a new path forward? Remember, the mind that imagines solutions is the mind that wins. Keep going until you win, for every obstacle is simply an invitation to create a new way. Imagine a tree battered by fierce winds, its branches bent but its roots holding firm. Though the storm rages, the tree stands tall, and when the sky is clear, it grows stronger than before. Such is the nature of resilience. Napoleon Hill taught that the ability to recover from setbacks and keep moving forward is not merely a trait, but a skill that can be cultivated by anyone determined to win. Life will test you with disappointments, failures, and unexpected turns. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is not the absence of hardship, but the presence of resilience. Hill believed that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. When you choose to see setbacks as lessons rather than defeats, you transform pain into power and loss into wisdom. Consider the story of Abraham Lincoln, who faced repeated failures in business and politics, yet refused to let defeat define him. Each setback became a stepping stone, each disappointment a lesson. His resilience carried him through years of struggle to the highest office in the land, where his strength inspired a nation. Hill reminds us that resilience is built through mental discipline and emotional mastery. When you encounter a setback, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? By shifting your focus from what you have lost to what you can gain, you reclaim your power and prepare yourself for future challenges. Emotional resilience is strengthened by surrounding yourself with supportive people and nurturing a positive inner dialogue. Speak to yourself with encouragement, not criticism. Celebrate your progress, however small, and remember that every comeback begins with a single step forward. So I ask you, when life knocks you down, or will you rise stronger than before? Will you let adversity break you, or will you use it to build unshakable resilience? Remember, the journey to victory is not a straight line, but a series of comebacks. Keep going until you win, for every time you rise, you become more powerful than you were before. Picture a sculptor shaping a masterpiece from a block of marble. Each stroke of the chisel, each careful touch, brings the vision to life. So, it is with your mind. Napoleon Hill taught that the thoughts you impress upon your subconscious shape your destiny. Programming your mind for victory is not a matter of chance, but of deliberate daily practice using auto-suggestion and positive beliefs to maintain motivation and confidence, even when the world tests your resolve. Every day, your mind is bombarded by messages, some uplifting, others discouraging. You'll believe that you have the power to choose which messages take root. Auto-suggestion is the process of feeding your mind with affirmations, visualizations, and statements of purpose until they become part of your very being. When you repeat positive beliefs with emotion and conviction, you rewire your thinking, replacing doubt with certainty and fear with faith. Consider the story of Muhammad Ali, who declared, "I am the greatest," long before the world agreed. His unwavering self-minus thought became a self-minus fulfilling prophecy, fueling his training, his courage, and his victories. Allah's example echoes Hill's principle, "What you tell yourself you become." Hill reminds us that programming your mind is a daily discipline. Begin each morning by affirming your goals. Visualize yourself succeeding, overcoming obstacles, and enjoying the rewards of your effort. When challenges arise, counter negative thoughts with empowering statements. Say to yourself, "I am persistent. I am capable. I am destined to win." Surround yourself with influences that reinforce your belief in victory. Read inspiring books, listen to uplifting voices, and spend time with those who encourage your growth. The more you immerse your mind in positive input, the stronger your motivation and confidence will become. So I ask you, what messages are you programming into your mind today? Are you feeding your spirit with hope, determination, and faith? Remember, the mind is both a garden and a workshop. Plant seeds of victory, nurture them with daily care, and watch as your life transforms. Keep going until you win, for the mind that believes in triumph is a mind that achieves it. Imagine standing at a crossroads, the world silent around you, the path ahead shrouded in mist. Logic and reason have brought you this far, but now something deeper stirs within a quiet voice, a sudden flash of insight, a feeling that cannot be explained. Napoleon Hill called this the sixth sense, the inner guidance that whispers the answers when all other sources fall silent. Trusting your intuition is not a matter of chance, but a skill that can be cultivated, refined, and used to achieve your greatest dreams. Throughout history, the most successful men and women have credited their achievements not only to hard work and planning, but to moments of inspiration that seemed to come from nowhere. They'll believe that the sixth sense is the door to infinite intelligence, the channel through which ideas, solutions, and warnings arrive enlightened. When you learn to listen to this inner guidance, you gain access to wisdom beyond your conscious mind. Consider the story of Thomas Edison, who often napped in his laboratory, trusting that answers would come to him in the twilight between sleep and waking. Many of his greatest inventions were born from these moments of intuitive insight. Or think of Joan of Arc, a young woman with no formal training, who will lead armies and change the course of history by following the guidance she felt within. Hill reminds us that the sixth sense is not a mystical gift reserved for a chosen few. It is a faculty that grows stronger with use. Begin by quieting your mind each day. Spend time in reflection, meditation, or prayer. Ask yourself clear questions about your goals and challenges. Then listen for the answers that arise not always as words, but as feelings, images, or sudden clarity. Trusting your intuition requires courage. The world may urge you to ignore your gut, to rely only on logic and evidence. But the greatest breakthroughs often come when you dare to follow a hunch, to act on a feeling that defies explanation. When you combine the power of reason with the wisdom of your inner voice, you become unstoppable. Surround yourself with people who respect your intuition and encourage you to trust it. Keep a journal of your insights and the results that follow. Over time, you will see patterns emerge, and your confidence in your inner guidance will grow. So I ask you, will you trust the quiet voice within, even when the world is loud with doubt? Will you follow your intuition, even when the path is unclear? Remember, the sixth sense is the compass that points you toward your destiny. Keep going until you win, for those who trust their inner guidance are the ones who shape the world and fulfill their highest purpose.